Welcome to Mathematics Form 4, Chapter 4, Operation on Sets. 4.2 Union of Set. Alright, in this part of the lesson, we will learn how to solve problems involving unions of set. Are we ready? Let's begin. Alright, so before we begin, let's do some revision. Okay, union of set. You know that the symbol is like a letter U, so U represents union. Okay, union means all the elements from the set involved, and we also learned about complement, which means that it is not the element of the set, and it is denoted by the symbol apostrophe. Okay, let's look at one example. Alright, example 1. A total of 26 pupils anticipate in a scouting program at a riverbank. The activities of the programs are kayaking and fishing. 18 pupils participate in kayaking and 15 pupils participate in fishing, while 9 pupils participate in both kayaking and fishing. What is the total number of pupils who participate in the activities of the program? Okay, from this information we know that there are two activities. One, kayaking, the other one, fishing. Let's rearrange this information until the chunks that we can digest. Right, the total we know is 26 pupils. 18 participated in kayaking, 15 for fishing, and fishing and kayaking got 9 pupils. Let's represent it in a Venn diagram. Now there are two activities, means that we need two circles, and the two circles overlap because we got kayak and fishing. Now we need an overall, which is the universal set, because we got total, and then the symbol for universal set. Let's label our circle K for kayak and then F for fishing. Right, I'm going to start from the bottom. Okay, the intersection between K and F, kayak and fishing, which is this one. So kayak and fishing got 9. So let's put number 9 in the intersection of two set. And then I know kayaking have 15. And then we got fishing that have 15. Kayaking got 18, fishing got 15. But we do know that 18 actually represents the whole circle for K, and 15 means the whole circles of F. So the figure is not right. So we need to readjust so that it is correct at their own section. Alright, so we need to find first kayaking only. So kayaking only, we need to minus the part where they intersect. So it's 18 minus 9, we got 9. And then the other one is fishing only, which is 15 minus 9. Okay, 9 from the intersection. So we got 6. Now let's change the figure on the Venn diagram. Okay, now we got 9 for kayaking only, and then intersection we got 9, as well as 6 for fishing only. So you do notice that the word only brings a difference in our calculation. Alright, let's refer back to the question again. The question asked the total number of pupils who participate in the activities, means that all of them that is in this circle. Alright, so we got 9 plus 9 plus 6, which equals to 24. Now if we look back at the total, Okay, the total, there are 26 pupils. Just to finish up our Venn diagram, we'll put 2, which is the missing 2 pupils, outside set of K and set of F. Okay, so we have completed our question. You do notice that you can complete it with Venn diagram. You can also complete it with listing. Okay, just make sure that you do know which one to use. Let's look at another example. Okay, example 2. A total of 100 adults are involved in a survey on their top choices of reading materials. 40 people chooses newspaper, 25 people choose magazines, 18 people choose storybooks, 8 people choose both newspapers and magazines, 7 people choose both magazines and storybooks, 5 people choose both newspaper and storybooks, and 3 people chooses all 3 types of reading material. Now the question asks how many people do not choose any reading materials. Okay, this seems like a long question. Let's break them down into the chunks that we can digest. Alright, now we put them into chunks that we can digest. We know there are a total of 100 sold. Newspaper got 40, magazine 25 people, storybooks 18. And then newspaper and magazines got 8. Magazines and storybooks, there are 7. Newspaper and storybooks, there are 5. And all 3 together, there are 3. Now let's see how to represent them in a Venn diagram. Now there are 3 things that involve here: newspaper, magazine, and storybooks. Means that we need 3 circles. Alright, and then because there are total, okay, which is 100, let's draw a square and rectangle around them to represent the overall as well as the universal set. Okay, let's label each of the circle: N for newspaper, M for magazines, and S for storybook. Now we're going to put them information that we already have here into the section. I'm going to start from the bottom, which is the newspaper, magazines, and storybook. 3 of them. So there are 3. Let's put 3 in the intersection of all 3's. Next, I'm going to look at newspaper and storybook. Next, I'm going to put in magazine and storybook. And then the last one for the section, I'm going to put newspaper and magazine. There are 8. Alright, so let's move upward. The next one is storybook. We have 18. Magazine, we have 25. And then newspaper, 40. But if you notice properly that all that we learned previously, this is not an actual representation of the correct section, because 40 newspaper is actually the all of the 40. I do not want to represent 40 as the section, so we need to readjust it again. Right. So if you notice this one, this time there is no word with the word only. The only is have been missing, so means that for newspaper and magazine, which is 8, is actually the everything here. Okay, let me draw them in red line. So everything here is actually 8. Alright, so the 8 in this figure, when I want to represent everything here, is not correct because there are 3 in this section. So for only this section, so this section will be known as newspaper and magazine only. Now there is no only, so we need to find out how much for the only section. Alright, so 8 represents everything, part of it is taken by number 3. So we need to minus that part. So we have 5 for that section. Now I'm going to do the same for magazine and storybook only, because 7 actually represent everything here. But because 3 already taken up this much, we need to find actually how many of them are actually in the magazine and storybook section only. So we are going to do the similar operation, which is 7 minus 3 equals to 4. The last one will be newspaper and storybook only. So let's minus 3, we got 2. So now that we have found out this thing, we need to write the correct number for that section. Okay, 5 for newspaper and magazine, 4 for magazine and storybook, as well as 2 for newspaper and storybook only. Okay, those are the numbers for the section only. Okay, we are finished with that one. Now we need to look at newspaper only, magazine only, and storybook only. Alright, so we know that 40 represents everything in that orange circle, peach color circle. So for magazine only, so magazine only actually is this section, but the 40 in here is representing by everything here. But if you total up, this one is in the way, 3 is in the way, and 2 is also in the way. So we need to minus that part as well. So 40 minus 5 minus 3 minus 2, so we got 30 for the newspaper only. And then we got magazine. Okay, magazine got 25, so we need to minus 5 minus 3 and minus 4 in order to get magazine only, which is 13, as well as storybook only. We need to minus 18, minus 4, minus 3, and minus 2. So we are left with 9. Now that we have the new figure, we need to change this figure. Alright, so we got 30, 13, and 9. Right, now the figure is correct. We can go on to answering our question. Okay, so the question that we have here is how many adults do not choose any reading material? So we need to minus the total, which is 100, with all the numbers that we have here, since that all of them does have reading material. Okay, this is actually the complement. Okay, so after you minus every of the number there is, we got 34. So 34 is actually the complement of those who have reading material. So if you remember correctly, 34 is written outside of these 3 circles. Alright, so these are how to solve problems involving union or set. Okay, so if you have your own workbook, alright, so we have come to the end of our lesson. If you wish to understand more, you can always do some exercises. Alright, so if you do have a SAS Buddy workbook, you can refer to the workbook on page 58, or you can always refer to the textbook at page 115 for self-practice 4.2c. Okay, hope that you have learned something today, and I'll see you again in the next lesson. Right, bye bye.